Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. It will retrograde on 23rd of May and will remain retrograde till 10th of October. Saturn retrogrades once a year, but it's very important to understand how it is going to affect you and what are the balancing actions you can take during the retrograde. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. Please remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So, Saturn turns retrograde in Capricorn on 23rd of May and remains retrograde till 10th of October 2021. It will remain throughout this retrograde in its own sign. When planets turn retrograde, it is important to understand that before turning retrograde, they will slow down, then stop, then start retrograding. Just like if you're going to back your car, if you're going forward, you have to stop and then go back. Similarly, when planets are retrograding, they will slow, stop, station, turn back. Now, I did do a whole class on retrograde planets. I will put a link to it and you can study all the retrogrades there, but specifically Saturn retrograde as well. So on 23rd of May, Saturn goes retrograde at 19 degrees of Capricorn. It is still in Shravana Nakshatra. It will remain in Shravana throughout the retrograde. It will remain in Capricorn throughout the retrograde. So 19 degrees is very important because if you have your moon, your ascendant, or any planet around 19 degrees, that means 18, 19, that is really important because what is happening even now as I'm recording is that Saturn is slowing down and it will slow and remain at 19 degrees all of May and all of June. So therefore, it's a long transit in 19 degrees, a little bit here and there. So as it starts slowing down, the speed gets less and less. So Saturn is not moving at all. And then it stations at 19 degrees, and then it will retrograde back. And then almost up to middle of June, it will remain at 19 degrees. And then also it's very slow. So when we are analyzing a retrograde and what is its impact, it is this time of Saturn while he's slowing down, about to turn retrograde, stationing, retrograde is the key point. And then later on when Saturn is going to go direct. So if you have planets there, of course, it is an intense transit. So you do need to take care depending on the planet, its Karaka, house rulership. That is what will be affecting. If you have a moon in Capricorn, but it is at 19 degrees, then this is a very intense part of your Sade because Saturn is just stationing there and you will be feeling emotionally very restless and sometimes even very tired or lazy even because Saturn is not going to allow you to move anywhere. And it's best to be prepared for it and plan for it. For the rest of us, what happens with Saturn is Karaka for work and karma. And when Saturn is slowing down, life tends to slow down. Not every project of yours will slow down, but you will see suddenly some things are not moving, some things are not developing at all. And the good idea is that you are being patient about it, not rushing through anything, just being patient. And as we go closer and closer to 23 May, then you know that now Saturn is stationary, and then he starts moving back. So moving back also he will do slowly. But once he's gone into his retrograde speed, then you don't really feel it. So once he's back going backwards, then of course you feel it if you have planets from 19 degrees to 12 degrees. That is where Saturn is going to retrograde backwards. So if you have moon, ascendant, anything in Capricorn on those degrees, then you can feel it. But it's not that you feel Saturn retrograde every day. The main time is around the time that it is going to go retrograde. Then one of the things about this transit is that Saturn is actually not conjoining any other planet. There is no conjunction. Jupiter will come back into Capricorn in September, but it is late degrees, like 28, 20, it's not coming back to Saturn's degrees. So they will be together like in Capricorn companionship rather than a clash or a major conjunction. So then also in July and August, starting with 1st of July, when Mars is opposite Saturn, Sun, Mercury, Venus, all will go opposite Saturn. I'll talk about that more during July-August report when the exact degrees are there. But they're not conjoining with Saturn. Saturn will be almost alone except for that small Jupiter influence. Jupiter's influence for Saturn is a bit lightening the Saturn energy. However, in September itself, because 10th of October, Saturn goes direct. So around 10th of September, we start slowing down of Saturn's degrees. And Saturn is going to go direct at 12 degrees of Capricorn. And it is, around September only, it will go about 13 and then go 12. And so now this is the second degree. If you have your moon, ascendant, or any planets around 12 degrees of Capricorn, maybe even 13 degrees of Capricorn, then for 2 months, Saturn is going to be there. It'll go retrograde, stop at 12 degrees on 10th of October, and then start moving forward. Again, life for all of us will slow down around that time. And, suddenly the energy will shift. And then Saturn, once he goes into his speed, about a week, 10 days after 10th of October, you'll see that the situation is getting easier and quicker, and things are getting back to normal. So always retrograde is showing that some karma has been left undone, especially Saturn's retrograde. That means we are going back to the same degrees. So like we have gone up to 19 degrees, then we will go back to 12 degrees. So there's something that is reluctance of going forward and to be cautious about it. So I think always with Saturn, he is reminding us of cautious and patience. And with COVID, we seem to think we have run away, finished the issues. And you may see that it is telling us still to be cautious because everything is not clear, and to be careful about it. That's an overall message. You can say that patience and careful, and redress your balances, check what was left undone. And especially around May and then around October, it's important to be careful about what you're doing. So how does it affect you? Remember, we are looking at ascendant and moon sign. Aries, it is in your 10th house of career, karma house. Suddenly it's going retrograde, can block a situation, something not working, redressing some balances. But I think it's quite strong. It is still in Sasha Mahapurusha Yoga. you're just managing that balance. And watch out for 1st of July when Mars Saturn opposition is there. But I would say, work hard and you will get the rewards. Taurus, Saturn is a very good planet for you. Overall, Saturn will be positive. All of us have to watch the day it goes retrograde, when it goes direct, because that is an event. But the retrograde is in the 9th house. 9th house is the house of guru, house of knowledge. Sometimes, you may not be open to taking advice, and maybe I think you need to listen to what people say, because not always your own effort, learning from your own experience is a good idea. And Venus will oppose Saturn in July. Watch out for the July news. I'll be giving the dates at that time. Gemini, Saturn is retrograding in your 8th house. We've talked a lot about this. It is not the easiest transit for you. So be conscious, be aware, and take extra precaution. If your moon is at 19 degrees of Gemini, or your ascendant is at 19 degrees of Gemini, or the same 12 degrees, then Saturn is going to station exactly 8th house from those degrees. So be very conscious of the retrograde and then going direct dates. Cancer, Saturn is in the 7th house of relationships. I would say around the retrograde on 23rd of May, you may find that your partners are being a bit awkward, complex. They are going through some process transformation. So be careful. Same with October. And for Cancer, Saturn is opposite your ascendant, and especially if your Cancer ascendant is either 19 degrees Capricorn or 12 degrees Capricorn, then Saturn is going to station exactly opposite your ascendant degree. So it is extra important to be careful. Leo, Saturn is transiting your 6th house, and its retrograde will be awkward as far as opposition or things that are not in your favor. And especially watch out for July, August, when Sun goes opposite to Capricorn. And I will tell you later on the dates exactly. Things the end of July. But be conscious of it. Otherwise, it is just for you to watch out for the day Saturn turns retrograde and that slowing down of energy, and when it goes direct. What happens is we want to do things, but Saturn is kind of pulling us back. So that is the main aspect to watch out for. Virgo, Saturn is in your 5th house. 5th house is a good position for Virgo. However, the main aspect of the retrograde is that things slow down. We are not able to accomplish as much as we want to do. As long as you are aware in May and October, and also be aware as 5th house is connected to children, if there are some issues regarding children, that you are conscious of it. Libra, Saturn is a good planet for you. It is a positive energy. It rules your 4th house, home, happiness. It is placed there. Again, retrograde can be some issues regarding home. It can also bring some issues regarding mother. And be careful not to get into some unnecessary issues, and definitely not to do a redecoration or anything like that around May as well as October. Scorpio, Saturn in the 3rd house is quite good, and I think just be careful about the day Saturn turns retrograde and when it goes direct. I think the main thing is this, that 3rd house is the house of action. What are you going to do about things? And Saturn suddenly stops and starts moving backwards. So some things you'll find that you're redoing rather than going quickly ahead with it. And it isn't a bad thing, because sometimes re-looking at projects will help you to do them correctly. So watch out for May and then October, but also the Saturn Mars opposition is on 1st of July. So that is another day that you'll be aware of. Sagittarius, Saturn is in the second house of money, and the retrograde is very important. What it's telling you is that some financial things need to be sorted out, and new projects done or redone with the financial things, and definitely not making a financial decision around 23rd of May and around that, a few days before, few days after. And the same thing about October. Capricorn, of course, it is your Lagna Lord or Moon Lord. So this retrograde is most important for you, because when a planet is your Lagna Lord or Moon Lord, that means everything about your life is going to be subject to this retrogression. Things are slowing down. All what I've said so far for other signs as well. Slow down, you're pushing ahead, but things are not going forward. And, there can be a sense of frustration as well. And of course, if you are Capricorn Moon, then Moon's position is very important. Moon's positions from if it's 19 degrees, that means Saturn is going to station there, but 12 to 19 degrees is where Saturn is retrograding back. That means that all the other degrees from 12 to 19, Saturn is going to make a second trip over that degree. And of course, ascendant as well. And it is important. I often notice that when Saturn is on the ascendant, it impacts your career. So there may be some changes professionally, but mostly think about yourself and understand that this is one of those challenging times, and how you balance yourself and keep your equilibrium is important. Aquarius, Saturn is also your ruling planet. And if you're Aquarius Moon as well, your ruling planet. However, Aquarius Moon is as yet not in the intense part of Sarasati. So this retrograde is happening on your 12th house. 12th house is expenses. It is foreign countries. It's spirituality. It's connections you make with people, that your creative element as well. 12th house is very important. However, this retrograde happening is your Lagna Lord turning retrograde. So something stops you in your tracks in May. And it may not be every area of your life, but it could be something. They can be delayed plans or things not working out the way you want to. So it is really important to practice patience and definitely not plan any big events around the 23rd and 10th of October. Those are the two key areas for you. And after the retrograde begins, then you forget about it. By May, end of May, you don't feel that energy as intensely as you feel at the time before and at the time the retrograde is taking place, and 1 week or 10 days after that. Pisces, it is in your 11th house of earnings, and Saturn retrograde is telling you that you be careful about your earnings and maybe replan what you were thinking about your earnings, how you're going to earn. That will be a good thing. Otherwise, it is the usual that you have to watch out for the retrograde, and you have to watch out for the direct motion. So 23rd of May and 10th of October. And also in September, Jupiter will go back to Capricorn. And then Jupiter will be retrograde, which is your ascendant ruler. I'll talk about Jupiter retrograde later on. And Saturn will be retrograde. So you are re-evaluating certain things, and especially your finances. And Jupiter Saturn don't clash, they don't connect, they're just together. So emphasizing your 11th house of money and finances. So that is it for today. I think most important about this Saturn retrograde is that you keep calm around the retrograde. If something slow down, don't get agitated or frustrated. Just take it in your stride. It's slowing down, okay. Don't try to push, because that is what is going to make you frustrated. So patience, calmness, expecting some delays, and rechecking things, anything that you need to redo, do it nicely, because that is what is Saturn's message. So do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. Thank you.